Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. All right, so we're going to start a morning meeting. If you want to go ahead, if you're following along, log on to starfall.com. I'm going to do the same. All right, and then once you're there, go ahead and go to the top right corner area and click on our calendar. Okay, and then once you're there, go ahead and click play.
Yippee! It's April 2020. Let's make a calendar.
Okay.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
All right, so
what day of the week is it today?
What day of the week is it today? And if you look up at the top underneath April 2020, you'll see our days of the week. And what is that highlighted day right here? Yeah, it's Tuesday. I also said it in the beginning when I said Happy Tuesday. So today is, I'm so sorry, I have the hiccups. Today is Tuesday.
Great job. Today is Tuesday, April 7th, 2020.
All right. Now we're going to
fill in the missing day and date.
Fill in the missing day and date. So we just said that it was Tuesday, so I'm going to go ahead and click on Tuesday and drag it over to the top there. And now if yesterday was Monday the 6th, then today is Tuesday the 7th.
Great job.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click that next arrow, and now we get to
mark any special days this month.
Mark any special days this month. Okay, so I'm going to continue on and using those smiley faces for the holidays, to mark the holidays this month on my calendar. You can use either the stars or the smiley faces. So that first holiday that we had was the first day in April. So Wednesday, April 1st, 2020 was April Fool's Day. And that's that day with that silly Joker or Jester hat. And it's a day of fun and pranks. So I'm going to go ahead and put a smiley face on Wednesday, April 1st, 2020, because that was April Fool's Day. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and jump to this week because there was no more holidays in that first week of April. So this week we have on Thursday, April 9th, is that Jewish holiday of Passover. And this just marks the beginning of traditions of various foods and fasting and stuff like that. So we'll learn more about that on Thursday because I'm going to be posting some information about it. But I'm going to go ahead and put a smiley face on Thursday, April 9th, 2020, because that will be Passover. Okay. And then right after that, so on Friday, April 10th, 2020, that will be Good Friday. And that's the day that has the picture of the wooden cross with nails in it. And this signifies in the Christian religion the day that that Jesus was crucified or killed on the cross. And then this usually marks the weekend of Easter. So we'll have to check to see if Easter's coming up. So I'm going to go ahead and put on Friday, April 10th, 2020, a smiley face because that will be Good Friday. Okay, so nothing on Saturday. Let's look at Sunday. What's Sunday going to be? What holiday? I see a green colored egg and a pink colored egg with different designs. That must mean that Sunday is going to be Easter. And this is another typically Christian religion based holiday that just tells the story about how Jesus, that man who was put on the cross, rose up from the dead and opened the tomb that he was in and continued on to do good things. So people who practice some branch of Christianity usually celebrate this holiday. So on Sunday, April 12th, 2020, I'm going to put a smiley face because that will be Easter. Okay, and then I'm looking at the following week. I'm not seeing any more holidays, so I'm going to go ahead and jump to the week of Monday the 20th. And if we look on Wednesday, April 22nd, what day will that be? As I've been saying, this is one of my favorite days. And you can see it is a blue circle with looks like some green land and clouds. Yeah, that's our planet Earth. So Wednesday, April 22nd, 2020 will be Earth Day. And if we remember, I've been saying that this is the day that we just kind of come together and bring awareness on how we can keep our Earth healthy and happy for years to come. So I'm going to go ahead and put a smiley face on Wednesday, April 22nd, 2020, because that will be Earth Day. All right, and then our last official holiday of the month is going to be on Friday, April 24th. That is the Muslim holiday of Ramadan. Well, marking the start of Ramadan because it goes on for a few days. So I'm going to go ahead and put a smiley face on Friday, April 24th, 2020, because that will be the start of Ramadan. And if you are just now joining us and still aren't quite sure what Ramadan is, I posted a really cool brain pop video on kind of explaining more about this on a Google Classroom. So go ahead and look back and scroll through and check that out if you want to. Okay, so I said this was our last official holiday of the month, but I would like to recognize a birthday this month, our only birthday this month that I know of. And I'm going to go ahead and grab our birthday poster from the classroom for this. So we have January, February, March, April, and Harry. Harry's birthday is this month. And Harry's birthday will be on Sunday, April 19th, 2020. Harry will be 13. So I'm going to go ahead and put a slice of cake on Sunday, April 19th, 2020 to mark Harry's 13th birthday. Okay. So you can go ahead and keep marking days. Actually, I think I'm feeling like marking the weekends also on the calendar today. So I'm going to put stars on Saturday. We'll start with Saturday. Saturday, April 4th. Saturday, April 11th. Saturday, April 18th. And Saturday, April 25th. Now I'm going to go ahead and do Sunday. So Sunday, April 5th, I'm going to go and put some stars. Sunday, April 12th. Sunday, April 19th. And Sunday, April 26th. Okay, so those were all the weekend days of this month. But you can continue to keep marking any days that you would like. I'm going to go ahead and move on. So now we get to
choose a picture for your calendar.
choose a picture for a calendar. So I think I have picked every picture we have so far. Let's see. We have what looks like the boy and girl walking in the park, enjoying their time outside. And then we have a boy picking up trash. And then we have some planet scene, some solar system type looking scene. And then we have that rainy scene where the boy's covering his head with a book and then the girl's using an umbrella. So since it rained yesterday, I'm going to go ahead and pick the rainy picture. So my calendar looks like this. See? He's covering his head with a book. She's got her umbrella and there's little bunch of rain. I'm hoping we get more rain because we need it. So, but we can find that out next because we're going to go ahead and move on to weather. Since we finished our calendar, hooray! Okay, so go ahead and type in Chico weather. And remember, when we do the weather, we're just looking at that first box that pops up. So just this information here. There's a little box. You can't quite see it when I hold it up, but you'll be able to see it if you're following along. So it says Chico, California. And I'm going to go ahead and make sure that on the bottom left part of my computer has a box or a small box around the Tuesday down here. So I'll show you. I just went ahead and clicked it. And there's that box around Tuesday, and I will draw it on my little whiteboard here too, just so it's a little more clear. So, okay, here we go. So we have our box, and then we have TUE, which is short for Tuesday. And then we have our picture of what our weather type will be. So it looks like we have a sun with a few clouds. So this could either mean that it's going to be partly cloudy or mostly sunny. Which, to me, those are almost the same thing. It's silly that they even differentiate between the two on here. But we'll have to check back to see which one it is. And then underneath our picture for the day, we have two temperatures. And remember, one of them is going to be our expected high for the day, and then the other one's going to be our expected low for the day. So on our left side, we have 67 degrees. And then on our right side, we have 48 degrees. So it'll look like this if you make sure that you have your box around Tuesday. So there's going to be a box, TUE, Tuesday. Here's our weather type for the day, and 67 degrees and 48 degrees. And I did get a new whiteboard marker. I'm very excited about it. So I don't have to deal with that faded one that I've been using for the past week. All right, so we're going to go ahead and check out our temperature. So we want to make sure that, remember, there's those three rectangles that say temperature, precipitation, and wind. We want to make sure ours is on temperature. So right here, there's the three rectangles. So temperature is first, and we want to make sure that is highlighted. Okay, so it looks like, and according to this, our highest temperature of the day will be 67 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you want to continue to check out how the temperature is going to variate throughout the day, remember you can always look at that temperature array here. But that can also get confusing too, because sometimes it doesn't correspond with the information we see. So I'm going to check out. So we set our high for the day. It's going to be 67 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm going to look on our temperature scale. And we have 60, 65, 70. So I know that 67 is in between 65 and 70, but just a little bit above. So 65, 66, 67. So right here, very close to that warm range, but we're still in the cool temperature range. Okay, so we said now our lowest temperature for the day is going to be 48 degrees. So let's check out to see what kind of temperature range that is. We look on our scale here. We have 40, 45, and 50. So I know that 48 is going to be somewhere in between 45 and 50. It's going to be closer to 50. So 46, 47, 48. So it's very close to that cool temperature range, but as you can see, we are still in that cold temperature range. So our low of 48 degrees Fahrenheit will be cold. Okay, so let's check out if we have any chance of rain or any other type of precipitation for the day. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that precipitation is clicked on in those three boxes. So it should look like this. Precipitation is that middle rectangle, and then we'll have that blue line with percentages that shows us our chances of rain throughout the day and what time. But I'm going to go ahead and look up at the top, and it shows like this: precipitation, and wind. So we're going to be focused on, so you're going to go up at the top above those three rectangles, and it'll say precipitation, humidity, and wind. We're going to focus on what percentage is next to precipitation here. So what I'm looking, it says 0%. So 0%. So that means that it is probably not going to rain today. And I am looking out my windows right now. I have two windows in my room. So the one looking out the first one, and I see some beautiful blue sky, a little bit of clouds. They're the super soft, wispy clouds that aren't big and puffy like the cumulus clouds that were in the sky yesterday, but there's still little clouds. Let me look at my other window. Yep, I see some more clouds, but other than that, it's pretty sunny, and I don't really see the leaves dancing too much outside. Oh, now that I said that, it's starting to pick up a tiny bit, but yeah, I don't see really any chance of precipitation or rain today, which is why we have that 0% of precipitation. Okay, So now I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I have clicked on, in those 3 rectangles, the wind. So it will look like this. So we had our precipitation, or sorry, our temperature, precipitation, and now our wind. And then we'll have the wind speeds with those arrows. So this will show that those arrows will show you the wind speed variations throughout the day. But I'm going to go ahead and look up, like last time, we were focusing on the precipitation percentage. But this time we're going to be focusing on the wind percentage up at the top where it says precipitation, humidity, and wind. And I'm looking, and it says 5 mph, or in other words, 5 miles per hour. That's what mph stands for, in case you weren't sure. So 5 miles per hour is going to be about our highest wind speed for the day. So that's a pretty calm wind. You might feel like a slight breeze, and looking out outside right now, I do see a very light breeze, but it's one of those very nice, super light ones, not the very powerful ones that are going to knock you over. Okay. And now, so we did our temperature, our precipitation, and our wind. So now I'm going to check out to see, so you know how if we think back, I was saying that partly sunny and partly cloudy and mostly sunny are very similar. So both of them have the symbol, weather symbol, that looks like this. Excuse me, my allergies have been acting up. I don't know if any of you have allergies, but mine have been killing me. Okay, so imagine this circle is yellow, so this is our yellow sun, and then we have 2 clouds. So they use this symbol for both partly cloudy and mostly sunny, which in my opinion they are the same. So they use it for both partly cloudy and mostly sunny. And if we look up at the top where it says Chico, California, Tuesday, above our big number, we'll be able to see what weather type Google says that we're having today. So this today is saying that it's going to be mostly sunny. So this symbol today is going to represent that it's mostly sunny. And I can see that if I'm looking outside. It will be mostly sunny because there is not too many clouds in the sky. Okay, so now you can continue on, quizzing family or yourself on looking up other information. But I'm going to go ahead and move on to the part. So if we were in our classroom, remember, whoever was running weather would be able to now put up our weather for today and our weather for tomorrow. So today, if we think back, our high for the day, do you remember what it was going to be? A number in between 65 and 70. And it will be a high of 67 degrees Fahrenheit today. We haven't checked out what our temperature will be tomorrow. So let's make sure that Wednesday has a box around it here. And we'll be able to look at the bottom. Sorry, you just fell over on my bed. So our temperatures on the bottom are 75 degrees Fahrenheit, and 48 degrees Fahrenheit. Which one of these is bigger? $75 or $48? And if I need to rephrase my question, which number is closer to 100? So yeah, 75. 75 is the bigger number, and it's closer to 100. So this means it's going to be, this is our expected temperature high for tomorrow, for Wednesday. So I'm going to go ahead and write 75 degrees Fahrenheit for tomorrow, because that will be our high. Okay, and I'm looking at they do have, okay, sorry, I was checking. So mostly sunny, it is confirmed. Mostly sunny and partly cloudy are basically the same type of weather. So we're going to say partly cloudy for our class purposes, because we have a partly cloudy icon. Okay, so Tuesday, today, a high of 67 degrees Fahrenheit, and partly cloudy, even though it is more sunny out. Silly way of putting that. Wednesday, a high of 75 degrees and mostly sunny or partly cloudy. So they're both going to be, for class purposes, both today, Tuesday, and tomorrow, Wednesday, are going to be partly cloudy. Okay, so this is what it will look like. Today, high of 67 degrees Fahrenheit. Tomorrow, a high of 75 degrees Fahrenheit. And both days are going to be partly cloudy. Let's see if that changes at all tomorrow, because sometimes weather does change overnight. Okay, so you can continue on with weather, but I'm going to go ahead and move on to our social story for the day. So yesterday, remember, we talked about, or if you didn't watch yesterday's video, we were talking about what arguing is. Just a very general kind of idea explaining what actually arguing is. So today we're going to carry on with that theme, and we're going to talk about when arguing isn't okay. So is not okay. So there are times when it is not okay to argue. When my parents or teachers are telling me what to do, it is not okay to argue with them. The same applies to my grandparents and coaches, and I can even add, honestly, any adult. You should not argue with an adult if they are telling you to do something. I have my own opinion about a lot of things, and most of us do. But sometimes it is not the right time to share it. In school, we have assemblies. If the speaker in an assembly says something I don't agree with, it is not okay to argue with the speaker during the assembly. Instead, I should show my respect during the assembly by not interrupting. I can talk about my opinion later with a teacher, friend, or parent. So, if you haven't been to a school assembly before, let's change this scenario. So let's say that you're just in class and you're working as a whole group. So if we were in class doing our morning meetings together, and if I was talking to all of you and I said something that you don't agree with, it is not a good time while I'm still talking and still running the morning meeting to argue with me as to why you think that what I said is wrong. Instead, you should show respect to me while I continue to talk and then wait until I'm done. So don't interrupt. Let me finish talking, and then you can either talk about your opinion to me or a teacher, another teacher, or a friend, or a parent. So this can apply to any situation. So even if you don't agree with someone, it's still polite to wait until they are done talking and not interrupt them or argue and tell them why you think that why you don't agree. You should instead, the polite thing would be to wait and talk about it later. Sometimes I argue with my friends. So we all argue with our friends sometimes, even adults. If arguing turns into name-calling or fighting, that is not acceptable. If it seems like I or my friends are getting too angry, I should walk away and finish the conversation later. So this is some great advice. So this is saying that, and I've seen it before, and I've done it before. We all argue with our friends sometimes, but sometimes it can turn really nasty and get to that point where we're starting to hurt each other's feelings and say really mean things, when really we just have a disagreement and we're both trying to prove that we're right. So instead of letting it get to that point where we're fighting about it, where we have a really disrespectful tone and we're name calling and just being mean, if you feel like either yourself or your friend is getting too angry, the best thing to do would be to walk away and finish the conversation later. And even if you're not sure how to finish that conversation later, then you can go ahead and seek an adult, a trusted adult, and ask them how you can finish that conversation later if you feel like you don't have those tools to necessarily do that yourself. Okay, so let's review. So that was it was a pretty short social story for the day, but it made some really good points. So when is it not okay to argue? Our first example was when it said, when parents or teachers are telling me what to do, it is not okay to argue. Same with grandparents or coaches or any adult. That is not okay to argue back with an adult when they're telling you to do something. Another time it is not okay to argue is if you're in a large group of some type and you don't agree with whoever is talking. You should not sit there and tell them how you don't agree with them. You should instead wait and be polite and let them finish talking, and then go find a trusted source to talk about your feelings with as to why you don't agree. And then our last scenario is if you're with your friends and you end up coming to a disagreement or arguing about something and it's turning really nasty and mean. That is when we should not continue arguing. We should instead take a break, step away, cool ourselves down, and then maybe reapproach the conversation later. So those were all our instances. I'm sure there's others, but that's all we're going to talk about today. Those are the pretty important ones, but I hope that this helped with pointing out situations where it's not okay to argue. So we're going to continue on with this theme of social stories too, and talk about what compromise is tomorrow. So compromise is something that can come from or be a solution to arguing, but I won't dive into it right now. You'll have to watch our morning meeting video tomorrow to learn more about what compromise is. Okay, so that is all that I have for you today. I will be posting as usual, I'll be posting our social stories in Google Slide form on the Google Classroom. And then just continue to check our Google Classroom to make sure that you're able to see all the things that I'm posting for you. I went for a walk in Upper Park the other day, and so I have some cool pictures and videos from that I'm going to be uploading to look at if you get bored later on. All right. Well, I hope that you all have a wonderful Tuesday, and reach out to me whenever you would like to. I'd love to hear from you all because I miss you all so much. All right. Bye, everyone.